Hey everybody, it's James here from goodguitarist.com, and today I'm going to show you how to play The Suburbs by Arcade Fire. Now this song is awesome if you're just starting to learn bar chords because it uses the most common bar chord shape, but aside from that, the rest of it's pretty easy. The other chord shapes are just the simple open shapes, simple strumming pattern, and it uses the same progression over and over again. You know, there's one slight difference at a certain part of the song, but you know, anytime their song just uses the same chords in the same order, it's going to be great for perfecting your chord shapes. If you find along the way that you need some extra help, I have a bunch of resources designed to help you with songs just like this. There's links to all that down below. There's my free ebook, my beginner's course, I have a course on bar chords, and a bunch coming up, so please check that out if you're interested in getting some extra help. Otherwise, we're just going to jump right in and start with the chord shapes. Our first chord is a D major chord. From there, we go to B minor. And this is one of those switches where, you know, people get stuck. You know, they learn all the basic chords, they can strum through some simple tunes, and then they find a song that has a B minor chord and, you know, this is it. Well, first, let's take a look at how to play it, and then we'll talk a little bit about how to make the transition easier. So we bar our first finger along the 2nd fret, and I like to have the tip of my finger just underneath this string, which will mute it. And this is our lowest note of the chord. Now these fingers, we're going to put down our ring finger on the 4th fret, pinky just underneath it, and then our middle finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. Going through it in order, it's muted, 2, 4, 4, 3, 2. Now if you can play that, great, but if you can't, I want to show you something. I want to show you where this chord comes from. If we were to play our A minor shape, it's one of the basic shapes, but if we play it without using our first finger, play it like this. These 3 fingers are in the same position that they'd be in when we're using that bar chord. See, so all we do is we take our A minor shape with those 3 fingers, we go up 1, 2 times, and then we bar the 2nd fret. And I think a really good exercise to start this, there's 2 that I want you to do. Playing A minor like this, and then going to a D chord, and then back to A minor like that. That'll teach you to get these 3 fingers doing their job when it comes to that bar chord, because that's usually where the problem is. Now, to get the bar a little bit easier, we can play a power chord. It's basically half of the bar chord, and the power chord is just 3 notes. We do the 2nd fret, 4th fret, 4th fret, and just get used to moving the power chord to the lower strings. So just move everything over, back and forth. And you can play songs like this. You can use the power chord to play literally anything. It won't be as rich as if you're using like the full bar chord, but you know, for this song, for instance, sounds like the song, right? And I'm only using that one shape. And once you practice both of those exercises, going from D to our A minor without our first finger, and then D to the power chord, then you can try going straight from D to the bar chord. So getting used to that will really help. And that's what I do in my bar chords course. We break the bar chord into a few components, practice them all separately, and then build it back up together. Anyways, that's our B minor chord. And from this B minor, we're gonna go to an F sharp chord. And this is a really easy switch. We just take our whole shape and just move it over. So we just move it that way by 1 string. So I can go back to B minor. I'm just nudging it all over. And that's another thing you should be practicing, is just going B minor, F sharp, B minor, F sharp, over and over. Just get used to keeping this as a shape. And from this F sharp, we go to an A chord, Simple enough. During the chorus, we're going to be using an E major chord. Should probably already be familiar with that. So those are the chord shapes, and work on them a little bit if any of them are new to you. Otherwise, we're going to practice them downstrokes only. We're not going to worry about the strumming. We're just going to worry about getting the chords in the right order for the right amount of time. Starting off on D, we're going to do this nice and slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. B minor, 4 strums each. And if it's a bit much for you, just strum on beat 1. 1, 2, 3. Get ready for B minor. 2, 3, 4. F sharp 2. You know, just switching as soon as you can, so you can play each chord on beat 1. 1, switch, switch, switch. 1, switch. You know, doing it like that. Otherwise, 4 downstrokes each. That's where you want to end up. One more time. Cool, so that's the chord order. Make sure you can get that together, and once you're at that point, we can add some strumming to it. And in this tune, we're gonna use the most common strumming pattern ever. Down, down, up, up, down, up. But we're gonna add some accents to it to make it sound more like the original recording. First, the pattern. I'm gonna do this on a D chord. If you're not familiar with that one, we can break it up into 2 parts. First, we have down, down, up. Down, down, up. Just try that. With a swing feel. And then the second half is miss, up, down, up. So we miss the strings and then up, down, up. Miss, up, down, up. Miss. When you put that together, down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. And in this tune, they play that strumming pattern with a swing feel. I'll just show you the difference between the straight feel and the swing feel. Straight, it sounds like this. With a swing feel, so in the swing feel, the downstrokes are longer. You know, it has that dum, 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 that sort of feel. You could even just do this on muted strings to kind of get it. You know, just copy the feel. And now the other thing we're gonna do, aside from playing this with a swing feel, we're also gonna accent beats 2 and 4. So that's right here. See the ones that I did louder? 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and it's basically the second downstroke and the last downstroke. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Just have a heavier hand on those ones. Don't like blast your guitar, you know, don't go too hard, but just a bit of a heavier hand. You know, this song has a feeling like that, you know, it just has this like really like drawly kind of feeling, and it's really draggy, and you get that by accenting beats 2 and 4 and playing it with a swing feel. Anyways, I want you to take that strumming pattern, try it on each of the chord shapes a whole bunch of times till it's nice and comfortable, and then we can put that together with our chord progression. Let's try it together nice and slow. If you still don't know what's going on, you can always just watch this, see what's happening, rewind it, and try it with me after. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the majority of the song. Once you can do that, you're pretty much good to go. There is one other part. We have to include that E chord, and that's during the chorus. During the chorus, it's pretty much the exact same progression. But here, instead of going to A, we go to E. And we just do that 2 times at the start of each chorus when, you know, it goes, sometimes I can. It's that part. And then afterwards you go back to the regular way where you go to the A chord. And that's it. So let's just work on that. Let's just start off by practicing downstrokes only. 3, 4. Just a couple times. One more. Let's practice the second chorus. It's really simple. We're going to go to the E chord 2 times, and we're going to go to the A chord 2 times. Once again, if you don't know what's happening, I'm going to write this all out for you. I'm going to write out like the whole order of the chords at the end, but also you can just watch me play this, rewind it, and try it afterwards. So let's do the chorus now with our strumming pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, so those are all the components of the song. Now all that's left to do is write out a simple chord chart for you to, you know, follow along with. All right, so the song starts off with our chord progression. It actually starts off with an intro. We just do the chord progression 2 times and then the words kick in. Once the words kick in, we're on the first verse. And the first verse, we do our progression 7 times. Then we have the chorus. For the chorus, it's the same progression except it ends with E. We do that 2 times, and then we do our regular progression 1 time, and that's the first chorus. For the second verse, we just do our progression 4 times. So we just do that progression 4 times. And for our second chorus, we do our progression ending with E twice, and then ending with A twice. Our third verse, we do the progression 7 times, and for our third chorus, we do the progression ending with E 4 times, ending with A 6 times, and that's the whole song. Now I want you to copy this out. I recommend actually printing off the lyrics from the song, and whenever you print off the lyrics, there's always that space on the side. In that little space, you can write the chords out just like this. You know, sometimes for my students, I'll make them little cheat sheets. I'll just write something like this on a Post-it note that they can put on top of their guitar. So if they're really nervous about a performance, they always can just kind of like look down and nobody even knows that they're reading the chords. The reason why I prefer this to like having, you know, like 6 pages of the whole song and like reading it in order, like, yeah, that might seem simpler, but this actually teaches you how the song is constructed, because your goal is to eventually memorize it. You don't want to always be stuck in the page having, you know, hundreds of pages for all the songs that you know. You want to be able to kind of just see this in your head and then, you know, just know the tune. So jot this down, use it as a visual aid, try playing along with the recording, and eventually you won't need this. Otherwise, make sure you practice hard. Try to play along with the original recording once you have all this together, you know, using that little chart, and things should go pretty well. I'll see you soon.